How you doing, Bangkok? Welcome to Panther Purrfect. Welcome to our next edition of Panther Purrfect.
First up is news from the Panther Den with our buddies, Brick and Champ.
Welcome to news from the Panther Den. I'm Brick.
And I'm Champ.
Man, it's been quite a journey this fall. Thinking back about August and, school was virtual and just nothing really going on. What are some of the highlights as you look back over the last few months for our kids, for our activities?
Yeah, through this long journey, it was looking pretty dark at the beginning of school. And, coming together as a team, ISB and every department has united for the kids. And, we've established this great partnership with the athletic department with Chris and Mark, and working closely with our coordinators and coaches. We, work together to get creative and offer programs within these restrictions and the limitations that have been put forth. But at the end of the day, we see smiling kids and excited kids that are enjoying all the activities and sports they get to do. So I see just this long journey of, adaptation and just coming together as a team.
Yeah, you mentioned Chris and Mark, Chris Mott, Mark Jaspers, and just their leadership in athletics and partnership with us, just trying to get things on offer for kids, get kids out doing things, including when we started virtual activities. Remember back then is some of our talented coaches offering some really creative, approaches to their sport or activity online, kids in their living rooms, but kids were engaged. A lot of kids signed up. And then moving to hybrid activities where we did have kids back on campus, but we were still, I think, really limited, had a lot of restrictions in place. And so we had camps and some sports and some activities on offer for kids, but still pretty limited. And then finally, this last 5 weeks, it's been so awesome to see kids, like you said, smiling and just out with each other, but doing the things that they love to do. Still some restrictions. We've had to stop pretty early in the afternoons, some things on Saturdays, but really looking forward to January, where we might see extended hours, more activities on offer for kids, and larger groups of kids or different age groups able to do some things together. So 2022, we're looking forward to you, man. It's been a long year. Next up, we have Celebrity Spotlight. Featured guest, Ike Nwangpo.
Yeah, so we are lucky to get with Coach Ike, one of our own. He's a local legend here, runs the sPAWtlight basketball program. Amazing guy, great coach. He said he played for the NBA, played for the Lakers. He also won a national championship at UCLA. Welcome, Mike.
I was 6 years old when I started playing basketball. My first sport was actually football, soccer. And I didn't want to play, but I was one of the tallest kids at the school, and the basketball coach at the time kind of forced me to play. So I went into it crying and fell in love with it shortly after that. So, yeah. So I grew up in Houston, Texas. Our family first started in Ohio, then we moved to Houston when I was about 11. But most of my childhood, I grew up in Houston. It was amazing. It was an amazing ride. The year before, we lost in the first round at Tulsa. And so in the locker room, we were all crying, just deflated by the loss. And so we kind of just, at that point, said we never wanted to feel this way again, and we wanted to win the championship a year later. And just to be able to be on that ride with all those great players was one of the best experiences of my life. Absolutely. And all my teammates were still brothers to this day. So it was a great experience. Once again, amazing. So my college career, I didn't play very much. And so at the end of my college career, there wasn't really a pathway for me to play at the next level. Once again, it was one of those passions of mine. I didn't want to let my dream of playing in the NBA go. So ended up playing in about 10 different countries in South America and Europe and Asia, and just kind of found a pathway there. Played in the summer league and then came into camp with the Dallas Mavericks after that, and it was just a dream come true to be on the basketball court with guys that I idolized my whole life. To just actually be there and be in that environment it was amazing. It's like a dream come true. So when I was in high school, I was a All-American player in high school. And in my sophomore year, going into my junior year, I had a pretty major injury. I lacerated my ulnar nerve in my left hand. So I lost the feeling in my ring finger and my pinky finger. And so a lot of the schools that were recruiting me at the time kind of like backed off and, kind of weren't as interested anymore. So that was really tough for me to go from being that All-American prospect that I could go anywhere I wanted. I was getting recruited by Duke and Indiana and a lot of these great schools. But when I had that major injury, a lot of the schools that, were interested kind of rescinded their interest or rescinded their scholarship offers. And so that was really tough for me as a 16-year-old to kind of deal with that and go through that. But luckily I was able to still go to UCLA. They were still interested and I was able to go there. But once again, being there and not playing very much, I was playing behind a lot of future NBA players. And so that 4 years there was tough for me, not having the playing time and being able to play as much as I wanted to. So it was definitely tough for me to be able to kind of go through that. But I still had the belief in myself that I could play at the next level. And so that's a lot. I think that's where a lot of my kind of character was formed, just being able to go through that and still kind of, stay locked into the dream that I wanted to achieve. So yeah, that was probably the toughest part.
Thanks so much, Ike, for meeting with us today. We hope to see you back on campus soon and coaching our kids again.
And we'll see you again on Panther Purrfect.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I loved it.
Next up, we have a special edition of Cubs Corner celebrating
kids and what they love to do at ISB.
Don't think about it, just move your body. Listen to the music, sing oh hey, just move those left feet. Go ahead, get crazy. Anyone can do it, sing oh hey. Show the world you've got that fire. Feel the rhythm getting louder. Show the room what you can do. Voodoo, then you got the move. Hey, I don't know about you, but I feel better when I'm dancing. Yeah, yeah. Better when I'm dancing. Yeah, yeah. And we can do this together. Let you feel better when you're dancing. Yeah, yeah. Ow.
Hi again, Tony here. Thanks, kids, and thanks to Brick and Champ for news from the Panther Den, as well as that great interview with Ike. From all of us in Panther Activities, happy holidays, and here's to a perfect 2022. See you next time, Panthers.
Let you feel better.